Welcome to our channel, your gateway to the most spine-chilling tales and unnerving true stories. In this spine-chilling tale of the Lost Hikers, a tale of horror, a group of hikers embarks on an adventurous journey through the deep, dark woods. Little do they know that their innocent hike will lead them to a terrifying encounter with a mysterious ritual site hidden within the forest's treacherous embrace. As they trek deeper into the wilderness, their footsteps echo the tales of gruesome legends lurking within those ancient trees. The atmosphere is thick with a palpable sense of unease, as whispers of haunting apparitions and cursed artifacts pervade their thoughts. Unbeknownst to them, this eerie grove conceals more than just secrets. A malevolent cult, renowned for its sinister rituals, has chosen this remote location to carry out their nefarious plans. Drawn by an insatiable hunger for power, they are driven by a thirst to resurrect darkness from a forgotten age. Haunted by the past and tormented by present horrors, our intrepid hikers become ensnared in a deadly cat-and-mouse game. Forced to confront their deepest fears and darkest desires, they must outwit their relentless pursuers, while unearthing clues rooted in history and paranormal lore. With vivid descriptions portraying an air of palpable suspense, readers will find themselves plunged into a world where every step becomes a calculated risk. Each page teems with spine-tingling horror as the protagonists navigate through the twisted labyrinth of the cult's macabre intentions. Amidst impossible odds and ever-increasing tension, trust within the group begins to erode. The characters' relationships strain under the weight of their own survival instincts, leading to shocking revelations and unforeseen betrayals that further intensify the narrative. As they delve ever deeper into the gruesome secrets of this forsaken grove, both past and present merge seamlessly. Historical elements, sourced from various history and paranormal websites, lend authenticity to the terrifying events unfolding before the reader's eyes. Brace yourself for heart-pounding scenes as ancient curses awaken, cloaked figures emerge from shadowy depths, and sanity dances on the precipice of oblivion. Expertly woven suspense and horror guarantee a rollercoaster ride that will keep readers gripping their seats until the climactic battle between light and darkness reaches its cataclysmic zenith. In Shadows of the Enchanted Grove, Unveiling the Malediction, readers will embark on a bone-chilling journey that explores the limits of human resilience in the face of unspeakable evil. With every twist and turn, they'll be left breathless and haunted by both history's scars and the timeless specter of the unknown. Excitement filled the air as a group of hikers gathered at the trailhead, their backpacks loaded with anticipation. Ethan, the tall and rugged leader, stood at the forefront, his piercing blue eyes scanning over his companions. "All right, everyone," he began with a confident smile. "We have a beautiful day ahead of us. Let's stick together and follow the trail markers." Ava, her chestnut hair highlighted with a vibrant streak of purple, couldn't contain her enthusiasm. "I heard there's a haunted cave nearby," she exclaimed, a mischievous glint in her hazel eyes. "Maybe we should take a detour and explore it." Benjamin, with his glasses perched on his nose and sandy blonde hair tousled by the wind, chimed in. "Well, historically speaking, the area does have its fair share of legends. It's said that restless spirits roam these woods." He paused for dramatic effect before continuing. "There have even been reports of unexplained phenomena dating back centuries." Bella smiled, her warm brown eyes lighting up. "I've always been fascinated by ghost stories," she admitted softly. "But let's not forget to enjoy the beauty of nature along the way." As they embarked on their adventure into the heart of the forest, Lucas led the group, his strong and steady footsteps marking the path. Grace and Elijah engaged in an animated discussion about life's purpose, their voices carrying through the crisp morning air. The sunlight filtered through the dense foliage above, casting dappled shadows across their path. The hikers marveled at the towering trees that surrounded them, their leaves whispering secrets they could only begin to comprehend. Nature hummed around them, alive with unseen creatures skittering through underbrush. "I can't believe we're here," Ava exclaimed, her voice tinged with awe. She raised her arms wide, as if embracing the forest itself. "It's like stepping into another world." Ethan smiled at her exuberance. "That's the magic of nature," he replied, the corners of his mouth turning upward. "It has a way of captivating us and reminding us how small we are in this vast universe." The group continued onward, each step building anticipation for what lay ahead. Little did they know that their innocent hike would soon lead them down a treacherous path filled with darkness and malevolence. The silence hung heavy in the air as the group pushed deeper into the heart of the forest. The once vibrant chatter had tapered off, replaced by a visceral sense of unease. Each step seemed to echo through the ancient trees, reverberating with a haunting resonance that sent shivers down their spines. Ava's eyes darted nervously from tree to tree, her playful grin replaced by an expression of cautious trepidation. She clutched onto her backpack, her knuckles turning white beneath its weight. The shadows danced around her, flickering like malicious spirits waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Ethan led the way, his gaze fixed on the trail markers ahead. His analytical mind sought patterns and signs that would guide them safely back home. Deep down, he knew there was more to these woods than met the eye, but he couldn't let his uncertainty show. He had to be their pillar of strength, their unwavering guide through this labyrinth of nightmares. Bella walked beside him, her eyes scanning the surroundings, ever alert to any hidden dangers. Her nurturing nature compelled her to protect her friends, and she vowed to keep a watchful eye on each of them. She couldn't shake off the feeling that something ancient and malevolent lurked within these woods. Ben trailed behind, his gaze lingering on the twisted roots that snaked across the forest floor. His mind raced with historical anecdotes and paranormal theories, piecing together fragments of knowledge to make sense of their predicament. He longed to uncover the truths cloaked beneath the layers of folklore and legend. Lucas moved silently at the rear of the group, his broad frame shielding them from unseen threats. His eyes surveyed their surroundings with a hawk-like intensity. Ever since tragedy had marked his past, he had honed his instincts, determined to ensure no harm would befall those he cared about again. Grace and Elijah walked side by side, their steps synchronized as if sharing an unspoken understanding. Grace exuded confidence and assertiveness, while Elijah emanated calmness and introspection. Their conversations ranged from deep philosophical musings to playful banter, creating a dynamic tapestry of intellectual exchange amidst the eerie stillness. The forest itself seemed alive with anticipation, branches creaking like skeletal fingers, brushing against each other in silent whispers. A primal instinct tingled in the hikers' bones, warning them of imminent danger. They couldn't deny that they were venturing into a realm where human rationality was no longer enough to explain what lay ahead. As they embarked further into the labyrinthine depths of the cursed grove, their individual strengths and weaknesses would be tested. Their trust in one another would waver, alliances would form and crumble, and in this fight for survival, they would confront both external horrors and inner demons lurking within themselves. Little did they know that they were mere pawns in a game far older than mankind itself. The forest held secrets dating back centuries, memories etched into its very core, and as they pressed forward, each step became a calculated risk, one that would either lead them towards salvation or plunge them further into the clutches of darkness. The shadows lengthened around them as twilight painted the sky in hues of blood red and ink black, and in that moment between day and night, they stood on the precipice of oblivion, teetering between hope and despair, life and death. Panic coursed through their veins as the cultists' gaze fell upon them, freezing them in place. The hikers exchanged terrified glances, their hearts pounding in their chests. Ethan's voice cut through the silence, commanding them to scatter and find cover. In that moment, survival instincts took over. Ava sprinted towards a tangle of roots, her agile form disappearing within seconds. Ben dove behind a moss-covered boulder, his heart hammering against his ribs. Bella sought refuge beneath a thick canopy of ferns, her breath coming in shallow gasps. Ethan, ever the protector, scanned the surroundings for a path that would lead them away from the cult's clutches. His analytical mind calculated the risks and possibilities, desperately seeking an escape route amidst the maze-like forest. Sweat dripped down his brow as he racked his brain for a solution. Meanwhile, Lucas moved swiftly and silently through the underbrush like a predator stalking its prey. His broad shoulders maneuvered around gnarled tree trunks with ease. His senses honed by past traumas, he trusted his intuition to guide him towards the group's best chance at survival. Grace's instincts kicked in, propelling her forward with grace and determination. She wove through the shadows like a dancer, her movements purposeful yet elegant. Her mind raced alongside her body, assessing every possible outcome and strategizing their next move. Elijah, ever calm in the face of chaos, maintained his composure as he weaved through the labyrinthine trees. He relied on his sharp intellect to assess their situation objectively, weighing the risks and benefits of each potential course of action. His introspective nature enabled him to see beyond the present danger, envisioning a path to safety. As they navigated through the treacherous forest, leaves crushed beneath their feet like whispers of ancient secrets begging to be heard. Shadows loomed around every corner, morphing into sinister apparitions that prowled just out of sight. Their senses heightened, attuned to even the slightest rustle of leaves or flutter of wings. The cultist's eerie chants reverberated through the woods, mingling with the wind's haunted sighs. The hikers pressed on, driven by fear, but also a determination to protect one another and escape the reach of darkness that threatened to consume them. In this dark dance between pursuit and evasion, hope flickered faintly like a distant candle in the night. With each heartbeat, they edged closer to either salvation or oblivion. The stakes were high, and their trust in one another was all that kept them from succumbing to despair. As they fought to survive amidst the looming threat of malevolence, they clung to fragments of their individual strengths. Ethan's analytical mind, Ava's agility and resourcefulness, Ben's knowledge of history and lore, Bella's empathetic nature, Lucas' physical prowess, Grace's strategic thinking, and Elijah's unwavering loyalty. Against all odds, they forged forward into the unknown depths of the cursed grove. Their resolve grew stronger with each step taken in defiance of the encroaching darkness. Together, they would navigate this treacherous labyrinth and seek out the truth that lay hidden within these haunted woods. And so they pressed on, guided by a shared purpose, to survive and unveil the secrets concealed within these enchanted groves before it was too late. The battle had only just begun. The crackling of the campfire filled the air as its warm glow illuminated the hikers' faces, casting dancing shadows against the surrounding trees. The group huddled together, seeking comfort and security amidst the encroaching darkness. Ben leaned toward the flickering flames, his eyes gleaming with an almost mischievous glint. "Legend has it," he began, his voice low as if sharing a secret, "that these woods are haunted by restless spirits. Tales have been passed down through generations, stories of ghostly apparitions, cursed artifacts, and ancient rituals." Ava's eyes sparkled with excitement as she eagerly leaned in. "Oh, do tell us more," she urged, her voice filled with anticipation. Her hazel eyes darted between Ben and the dancing fire, her imagination conjuring images of spectral beings and hidden treasures. With a small smile playing at the corners of his lips, Ben continued, "There have been reports of shadowy figures seen flitting between the trees at night, their ethereal forms barely visible in the moonlight. Some say they guard sacred relics buried deep within these woods, relics that possess immense power or bring terrible curses upon those who disturb them." Bella shivered involuntarily, her eyes darting nervously away from the surrounding darkness. "That sounds terrifying," she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. Ethan, always the level-headed one, interjected with a calm, cautionary tone. "Remember, these are just legends and stories," he reminded them gently. "We must stay focused on finding our way back home. But it wouldn't hurt to be aware of our surroundings and approach this situation with caution." Lucas nodded in agreement, his gaze fixed on the flames before him. "We can't ignore the possibility that there might be more to this grove than meets the eye," he murmured, his voice carrying a hint of wariness. His dark eyes scanned the shadows beyond their makeshift campsite, ever watchful for any signs of impending danger. Grace chimed in, her tone confident, as she sought to lift their spirits. "Indeed, Legends often hold fragments of truth within them, she remarked, her voice brimming with resolve. These stories have been passed down for a reason, to remind us that there is more to this world than what we can see or comprehend. As they sat around the campfire, their voices blending with the sounds of crackling embers and rustling leaves, a sense of unity settled among them. Together, they would navigate this treacherous forest, armed not only with essential survival skills, but also with shared knowledge and unwavering determination. Little did they know that each tale shared around that campfire was but a whisper in the vast darkness that surrounded them. As they prepared to face the mysteries of this cursed grove head-on, they would soon discover whether those whispers held fragments of reality or were merely figments of their imagination. The moon hung high in the ink-black sky, casting an ethereal glow upon the ancient trees that stood like sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal hands. A heavy silence settled over the forest, broken only by the faint rustling of leaves caressed by a chilling breeze. As the hikers set up camp in a small clearing, an unsettling atmosphere enveloped them. Each step felt measured and deliberate, as if disturbing the sacred balance of this cursed grove would invite malevolence to descend upon them. Ava's eyes darted nervously from shadow to shadow, her excitement from the earlier tales giving way to trepidation. The flickering campfire offered little solace against the encroaching darkness. Her fingertips trembled as she fastened the rope securing her tent, her mind conjuring images of spectral beings lurking just beyond her line of sight. Ethan scanned their surroundings with caution, his analytical mind attuned to every minute detail. He sensed a presence, an unexplained heaviness that hung in the air like a foreboding specter. His responsibility as the group's leader weighed on him heavily as he silently evaluated the potential threats that lurked within these haunted woods. Lucas positioned himself on the edge of the clearing, his broad shoulders serving as both protection and sentinel. His gaze swept across the towering trees, ever watchful for any signs of movement or hidden dangers. The scars on his soul mirrored those etched into the trees, reminders of past traumas that had forged him into a warrior determined to shield his companions from harm. Grace's vibrant voice cut through the oppressive stillness as she led a chant, her words carrying a sense of defiance against the encroaching darkness. Her strategic mind sought to rally their spirits, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the shrouded uncertainties that surrounded them. She understood that maintaining their mental fortitude was just as crucial as navigating through physical obstacles. Bella wrapped her arms around herself, seeking comfort in her own embrace. Her empathetic nature allowed her to sense the anxiety radiating from each member of the group. A wave of compassion washed over her as she silently prayed for their safety and well-being. She longed to ease their fears, yet she knew that conquering their inner demons would be a battle fought within individual hearts. Ben's eyes glittered behind his glasses as he absorbed the ambience of this cursed grove. His insatiable curiosity danced with trepidation as he observed every detail with keen intellect. Deep down, he yearned for answers to age-old questions that had drawn him to these woods and propelled him forward despite any reservations. As the night deepened and shadows lengthened around them, whispers seemed to drift through the air like tendrils of fog winding their way into their consciousness. Unintelligible fragments floated on the fringes of their hearing, fragmenting their thoughts and feeding their unease. With these mere tricks of imagination, or echoes of something far more sinister, the hikers struggled to push away nagging doubts as they prepared for a fitful night's sleep. Amidst this eerie wilderness, their minds teetered on the precipice between apprehension and courage, uncertainty and resolve. Tomorrow awaited them with unknown challenges, threatening to test not only their survival skills, but also their very souls. A deafening cry pierced the stillness of the night, shattering their fragile sense of security. Panic surged through their veins as adrenaline fueled their movements. The hikers scrambled to their feet, their heartbeats thundering in their ears. Dark figures emerged from the shadows, their presence shifting the forest's energy into an eerie frenzy. Branches whipped through the air like vengeful spirits, seeking to ensnare those who dared trespass upon this cursed grove. Ethan's voice boomed with authority, cutting through the chaos. "Split up. We need to confuse them." His command resonated in the night, rallying the group to action. Fear propelled them forward as they sprinted in different directions, disappearing like fleeting shadows amongst the towering trees. Ava and Benjamin darted between gnarled trunks, their agile forms slipping through narrow gaps with practiced ease. Ava's quick reflexes allowed her to anticipate each obstacle, while Benjamin's analytical mind calculated the optimal path ahead. Their coordination showcased their ability to adapt and thrive under pressure. Bella clung to Lucas's side as they weaved through a maze of overgrown foliage. His strength guided them through dense underbrush and treacherous terrain. Bella's empathetic nature served as a beacon of hope in the face of imminent danger, urging Lucas to protect not only himself, but also those he cared for deeply. Grace and Elijah moved stealthily, their footsteps echoing ghost-like through the labyrinthine grove. Grace's strategic thinking allowed her to navigate through potential traps and pitfalls with grace and precision. Elijah's ability to listen and observe sharpened his awareness, enhancing their chances of evading detection. Ethan pressed on alone, his determination shining through every stride. Leading by example, he pushed himself to the limits, searching for an escape route that would reunite them all safely outside the clutches of darkness. His unwavering resolve mirrored his role as a group's protector and guide. Amidst the chaos and pursuit, fear threatened to overwhelm them all. Yet, they held on to fragments of hope that flickered in their hearts, hope that they could outwit their relentless pursuers and find a way back to safety. In this moment of desperation, they relied on their individual strengths and the unspoken bond forged through shared experiences. With each step taken in defiance of darkness, echoes of belief whispered within their souls. They would not yield to malevolence. Instead, they would fight tooth and nail for their freedom. The twisted labyrinth of this cursed grove challenged their resolve, but it would not break their spirit. Unbeknownst to them, a battle was raging not only within these haunted woods, but within themselves as well. In their race against time and evil forces beyond comprehension, they grappled with personal demons, guilt, fear, doubt, each threatening to consume them whole. Yet, amidst the chaotic pursuit and inner struggles, a spark of resilience glowed within their hearts. They refused to succumb to despair or let darkness extinguish their flame of hope. Every fiber of their being yearned for escape from this cursed realm, where life teetered on the precipice between salvation and eternal doom. They raced on into the encroaching night, blood pumping through their veins like a symphony of courage. The cultists' chants reverberated ominously in the distance as darkness tightened its grip around them. But together, united by shared purpose and indomitable will, they moved closer to breaking free from the clutches of this unholy grove. The crackling campfire offered little warmth against the encroaching chill of the night. The hikers huddled close, their faces etched with worrying and uncertainty. Each voice was lowered to a hush, as if the dense forest surrounding them held its own secrets that should not be disturbed. Ethan, his brow furrowed with concern, raised his hand to silence the murmurs of conversation. "We need to carefully consider our options," he said, his voice steady yet laden with the weight of their predicament. "Staying here exposes us to unknown dangers, but venturing deeper into these cursed woods may lead us into an even greater peril." Ava's restless energy crackled in the air as she paced back and forth. Her hands gestured animatedly as she argued her case, her words laced with both fear and defiance. "We can't just sit here and wait to become victims," she proclaimed, her hazel eyes flashing with determination. "We have to take action, confront whatever monstrosities lie in wait for us." Benjamin adjusted his glasses, his analytical mind striving to find a logical solution. His voice carried a note of caution as he shared his insights. "We must consider the risks involved," he cautioned gently, his tone reflecting his knowledge of history and folklore. "These woods hold ancient secrets, and we can't afford to underestimate their power." Bella's empathetic gaze shifted from face to face, her warm presence offering comfort amidst their growing anxieties. Her voice trembled slightly as she voiced her concerns. "We need to prioritize our safety. she emphasized softly, her gentle nature seeking harmony amidst the brewing tension. "Let's carefully weigh our options and make a decision together." Lucas stood tall and resolute, lending an aura of strength and protection to the group. His steady voice cut through the debate with a note of pragmatism. "We need to assess both the immediate dangers and the long-term consequences," he advised, his tone reflective of past battles fought against darkness. "Our survival depends on making the best choice for all of us." Grace's assertiveness rang through each syllable as she stepped forward with purpose. Her strategic mind sought to find a plan that would ensure their collective safety. "We must stay united and rely on each other's strengths," she urged, her confidence bolstering their spirits. "Together, we can navigate this treacherous grove and emerge victorious." Elijah's calm presence steadied their nerves as he sought to bring clarity to their deliberations. His voice resonated with wisdom born from introspection. "Let us remember why we embarked on this journey," he reminded them gently, his words reaching deep into their souls. "We are here to unveil the truth and protect one another. Fear alone cannot guide our decisions." As their voices wove together in a chorus of differing opinions, tensions rose within their fragile sanctuary amidst the haunted woods. Each character's unique traits and perspectives intertwined like threads in a tapestry, molding them into a resilient unit bound by both shared fears and aspirations. In this moment of crucial decision-making, they faced not only the external threats lurking within the forest's depths, but also the internal struggles that threatened their unity. It was only through open dialogue and a mutual understanding of one another that they could hope to overcome the sinister encounter that lay ahead. A hushed silence fell over the forest as the hikers stumbled upon the cult's ritual site, hidden deep within the heart of the enchanted grove. Their eyes widened in terror as they took in the macabre scene before them. An ancient stone altar dominated the clearing, its surface etched with cryptic symbols and stained with the remnants of blood sacrifices. Soft moonlight illuminated the eerie tableau, casting distorted shadows that danced like phantoms across the ground. Whispers reverberated through the trees, carried on a haunting breeze that seemed to carry secrets from centuries past. Hooded figures emerged from the shadows, their faces obscured by darkness. They moved with calculated precision, their every step commanding an air of sinister purpose. Fear clutched at Ethan's heart as he glanced at his companions, their expressions mirroring his own horror.